Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Kate with Beautiful Light Home, and today is all about Waldorf birthdays. And this is a subject that is very near and dear to my heart at this exact moment because both of my kiddos, their birthdays are coming up in the next several weeks. So my whole brain is all about birthdays right now for them. And what I want to just start by saying is that the world that I'm used to living in is all about all the decorations. Like my son's very first birthday party, I had like a million themed decorations and all these different party favors and party treats and all of this stuff that was all on a theme. And I feel like Pinterest and our world kind of makes it like that. Whereas Waldorf is a little bit different. It's not so much about a theme. It's more about the celebration of the child. And it's more about creating these beautiful, heartwarming, and spiritual types of rituals for you and your children. So the nice thing is that they kind of build on each other year after year. And I've seen some people do some really beautiful things, new traditions that they add in every year. And it's just less about going overboard and more about just the celebration of the child, which I really love. So it doesn't mean that I don't do other themed decorations and things like that. I do, but it's just, this is the way I'm trying to move us as a family. So let me get started with what we do 12 days before my child's birthday. So behind me, I have, it's a birthday ring. I made this myself. I have an Etsy shop, so I have a laser engraver and cutting machine. So I was able to like make my own wood birthday ring. But if you see, I always see them. You can see them on Bella Luna Toys. They always make these like beautiful wood. It's a ring that goes around with 12 different slots for candles, essentially. So you have all the pieces. It's 4 of these that I have. And we start 11 days out really. And every year I make like a new placeholder based off of what my child's interested in that year. So this year my son is super into hammerhead sharks. So I made him this little design. I found the design and I cut it out. And so every morning when he comes downstairs, today was the first day and he was so excited. He moved his piece one step closer, and then I have like the age that they're turning. So it's like one step closer to their new age. So I have that set up in kind of like a snake zigzag. And here's the thing, I always try to make Waldorf accessible. This was accessible for me because I had the resources to make this type of wood countdown. If you have the resources to go out and buy a wood, I think they're called birthday rings. If you have the resources, I always look at it as like it's an heirloom, you know, like you're going to be using this for each of your children for every year, essentially till they're 12, because that's how many placeholders there are. So you could think of it like that. I've also seen people make these out of salt dough, which is really cool. So I don't know if you're familiar with salt dough ornaments or anything like that, but essentially you make this dough, you form it, and then you bake it, and then it's hardened so that this way you can just use it and shape it into the form of a ring. So you have all these different options if it's something that you're interested in on how you can make this affordable and accessible for you. So for me, like I said, I always have each of my children's age and then a countdown. So 11 days beforehand, they start moving it. So tomorrow when my son wakes up, he'll move this. As far as these little placeholders go, I also, again, have it's a glow forge that I have, that I run my business with. So I have the capabilities of doing this, but truthfully, I've seen some really beautiful ones that people have made out of felt. They've like needle felted them. I've seen other ones that people have made out of salt dough that they've just shaped them into different shapes and painted them. I use an old wine cork to put my little this shark or anything in, so this way it can be moved. So there's all these different options to make this accessible for you. And I do save these, so every year I add different ones to the birthday ring from the past. And I'll explain why in a second. But this is the first thing we do as a birthday countdown. So this started today in our house for my son, which he was super excited about. So that's the first thing we do. And then we get to the day before my child's birthday. And what we do, because we have the birthday ring, so the day before, as a family, we sit down, and these are beeswax sheets. And you can get these, Bella Luna sells them. I think the Wooden Wagon sells them. Amazon sells them. And you roll these into candles to be used for the birthday ring. So for us, it's nice because my son and my daughter's birthdays are 3 weeks apart from each other. So we sit down the day before my son's birthday, and we as a family each roll these. So this year we need 6 of these. And so we make it special, but then we're going to use the same candles for my daughter's birthday, and she'll be 4 3 weeks later. So we won't be rolling the candles the day before her birthday, but what I will have her do is I'll have her pick out which candles she wants, so that this way it's still that special moment in anticipation of her birthday the next day. So we have the birthday ring countdown. That's building anticipation, as if we need that already. My son is already super excited about his birthday. We were out with our Wild and Free buddies yesterday, and everybody in the group knew it was like 12 days till his birthday. So he makes sure everybody knows that. So this is just part of that anticipation for him. So the day before, we're making candles. And then the night before their birthday, there's just this beautiful little poem that I love to say. I do try to memorize it and say it by heart. It's from my favorite book. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably seen this book. It's so well loved. It's falling apart here. It's A Child's Seasonal Treasury by Betty Jones. But on page 6, right at the very beginning, they have this birthday verse. And it says, "When I have said my evening prayer and my clothes are folded on my chair and mother switches off the light, I will still be 5 years old tonight. But from the very break of day, before the children rise and play, before the darkness turns to gold, tomorrow I'll be 6 years old. 6 kisses when I wake, 6 candles on my cake." So I just feel like it's such a beautiful way to say goodnight to your 5-year-old and wake up to a 6-year-old the next morning, or however the ages go for your child. But I just feel like it's just such a nice, beautiful little ritual to add before going to sleep. Okay, so then the morning comes of my child's birthday. So they come downstairs, and instead of now moving their little piece over on their birthday countdown, this now turns into a birthday ring. So it'll be set up in the shape of a ring. I'll try to add pictures if I can. The other pieces back there. So it'll be set up like a ring, and there'll be the 6 candles that we rolled out from the day before. I have their number 6. I have something that's of interest of them for this year, like the shark, the shark. Last year, my son was really into planets, outer space, constellations. So I'll use one of those from last year. The year before that, he was really into tractors and trucks and things like that, construction vehicles. So I'll add one of those in, so that this way it's not just about who he is today, but who he's been over the past 6 years. So the birthday ring will be there. And then my favorite part, and honestly, I think it's my kid's favorite part too, because my son's already talked about it a whole bunch, I do make these ahead of time. I make felt crowns for each of my kiddos. So this is this year for my son. And I like to do it based off of something that they're interested in that year, and then you save them. So the past 2 years, I've used the same crown. Like, this is the one I had for my son. I used it for when he turned 4 and when he turned 5. So I just did a blanket stitch to kind of put on these appliques I made of like trucks and tractors. And I literally just took off the 4 from last year because that's needle felted on, and I just added the 5 for the year. So I took off the 4 from 2 years ago and added the 5. But I feel like it's something special I just really like to do, is just make them something so that this way they can kind of look back at all of their crowns and be like, oh, these were all the things I was really interested in. Like last year, like I said, he was really into space and constellations, so I wish I did a little bit more with that. But this year I'm super excited that I needle felted him this birthday crown. If you're looking for birthday crown ideas, I mean, you could go to Google and just type in Waldorf birthday crown. Needle felting is such a beautiful, and I feel like it's a very cathartic type of practice. These do not take that long to make. They look beautiful and probably look more complicated than they really are, but it didn't take that long to make. It's just more the planning and preparation of it. But also I've talked about toy making magic before, and she has a whole tutorial on making birthday crowns on there. So I highly suggest going to Toy Making Magic if you're part of that subscription service, because there's so many beautiful things you can make on there, but birthday crowns are one of them. So, and then this was for my daughter. I had made her this when she turned 2, and the same thing last year. I took off the 2 and added the 3. Her themes have always been about butterflies, rainbows, forests, unicorns. Her theme this year, or her passions again, are like enchanted forest type things. So I'll make a different one that I'll be excited to make, but this is hers from the past 2 years. So that's what they wake up to. They come downstairs, and on the kitchen table, I'll have the birthday crown out for them. I will have their birthday ring out with all of the candles for them, as well as the little like dealy boppers that you put in there that represent their interests. And when they also come down, we also use one of the play silks. So we'll take a play silk and wrap it around them as their cape, so that this way they're wearing their crown and they have a cape on. This was perfect for last year because my son was super into outer space, like I said. So I try to pick one that kind of goes with whatever theme. And I'm just using ones that I have here in the house. So then we normally have a special breakfast of some sort. My kids always like to have like cinnamon buns on their birthday, so I'll make cinnamon buns for them. And then as we're eating their breakfast, we have the birthday ring on the table, and I tell their birthday story to them. So if you're not familiar with a Waldorf birthday story, I love this book. It's called Beyond the Rainbow Bridge. It's really great for learning more about the developmental stages of children between birth and age 7. But on page 142, they start with the Rainbow Bridge birthday story. So they tell this story in Waldorf classrooms, and this is something that I like to take from the classroom and bring home for us. And it's this beautiful, very spiritual story about how children basically came down over the Rainbow Bridge to be part of our family. So I'll do another video with the birthday story that we tell. I do this one from memory, and I like to tell it from my heart. I just feel like it's more meaningful. And it ends with, we light all of the candles for their age, and then we sing happy birthday and they blow out the candles. So that's something that we like to do. That's how we celebrate birthdays here. Now, we do a family party with my kiddos at the moment. So we'll have family either over here, or this year my son wants because he's all into sharks, he really wants a pool party at my parents' house. So we're just having our immediate families over to just celebrate that. And we just keep it small, but it's, for what my son and my daughter like right now, it's perfect. It's not overwhelming, and they look forward to these rituals. So in the future, some things that I really want to work on are, I really want to make like a birthday banner that we use every single year. I was hoping on getting it done this year, but I just have a lot of stuff to make. My daughter, for instance, for her birthday, she, as her gift, she wants a heavy baby, which in Waldorf classrooms or in Waldorf homes, they're these like beautiful, soft baby dolls that are in the Waldorf style. And they wear a little bunting, but they're like 4 pounds. It's to mimic like the feel of a real baby. They're normally scented with lavender, and they can cost a pretty penny, but I also really love making things for my kids, so I'm making one of those for my daughter. And I have other things to prep for the upcoming school year, so this year I'm just not gonna get to the happy birthday banner, unfortunately. But I feel like it's one of those things that if you just have these heirlooms, they love just, oh, you're taking out the birthday sign, or you're taking out the birthday ring. Like, it's just these moments where it means something to them, and it touches them on an emotional level because it's the things that they've been doing for years. With all that being said, some of this might seem silly or different, but the kids really love it. Like I had never really heard of the Rainbow Bridge story before I started telling it. I didn't know how it was going to go over. But by the second year of us doing it, my kids wanted to hear it and they asked for it. So it's just part of our ritual. So it kind of grows and expands. I know that there's a couple people I've seen, every year they make hearts, or like these like little felted hearts, or like almost like beanbag hearts or stars that they leave under their child's pillow. So like every year they add one more and leave them under their pillow. So when they wake up, it's like, oh, I'm 6 years old and I have 6 hearts under my pillow. And it's just this beautiful way of connecting with your child and making the day special. So with all that being said, I'm gonna do another short video just on the Rainbow Bridge birthday story, because I just think it's a really beautiful birthday story to share. And this way you can hear it a little bit more, and I can practice it before my kiddo's birthday is coming up. And yeah, so if you're interested in more information on Waldorf education or bringing Waldorf into your home, please take a look at my other videos, and you can like and subscribe to this one if you're interested. And I'm just really appreciative of you taking the time to watch this. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.